Welcome to Safe Investing. So for this week, is Western Digital an opportunity? So originally, I was thinking of talking about a consumer defensive stock, but recently I've seen stocks such as Kellogg being one of my favorite consumer defensive stock. It rose a bit too much for me to recommend it at this stage. But I think Western Digital is a great opportunity considering that even though Nasdaq is at all times high, but Western Digital did a huge correction last week, so I think that relatively speaking the stock is fairly safe. So last week I've talked about GoPro, and right now I still think that GoPro is a great opportunity. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. So here's some background information about Western Digital. So Western Digital purchased HGST, so a part of Hitachi, which makes hard drives, and this happened in 2011 for $4.3 billion. And then again in 2015, Western Digital purchased SanDisk for $19 billion. So currently Western Digital makes NAND drives, SSD, SATA, and SATA hard drives. So there's also the Western Digital Purple Drive being one of the only security DVR, one of the only hard drives for security DVRs. For example, in my house right now, I'm using a DVR that's made by a TrendNet, but they're using the Purple Drive that's made by Western Digital. And what's really amazing about Western Digital is that it both designs and manufactures the hard drive chips, as well as the SSD chips and the flash memory and flash memory controllers. So when I talk about its acquisition of two companies, HGST and SanDisk, we're talking about debt. But in 2016, the debt was $17 billion, but now in 2020, it was only $9.6 billion, and right now it's $8.7 billion in terms of debt, so it's paying off its debt fairly well. So on Friday, Western Digital closed at $63.15, and at this price, it's relatively a low point for 6 months, but it's at a reasonable price in terms of the 5-year trend. And I think that Western Digital does have some room for it to grow, possibly I would say $10 or maybe even $15 by the end of the year. So in terms of earnings, Western Digital blew everyone away with their quarter two earnings per share being $2.16, and this is really amazing for Western Digital. And for the past 12 months, the earning per share is $4.52, and with the next estimate being $2.05. So already these just 2 quarters alone is enough to almost match with the 12-month earnings per share. So the forward-looking for the Western Digital is actually really strong, and in terms of P ratio of 14 is pretty good for a company that both manufactures and designs these memory chips. So in terms of earnings, I would give it a 9 out of 10. So in terms of dividends, Western Digital did cancel their dividend in May 2020, and the reason why this happened was that the new CEO decided that it's more important to focus on debt repayment than dividends. But it's very possible that the dividend will be reinstated in the future because it's paying off its debt really well. Debt is decreasing, and right now with their super good earnings and their growth as well, I think that Western Digital can afford to give a dividend very soon. I would say possibly within 1 year. And since I predicted the Micron dividends last time, right? Micron is very similar to Western Digital, and Micron's earnings is also great. So Micron has a really strong cash flow right now, so they decided to just give dividends because what else are they going to do with their cash other than acquisition? And in terms of growth, there's still very high demand for NAND drives, and there's so many more products that use memory now. So before we talk about cars don't have autopilots, they don't have GPS, it's just a person with a crank. You have to crank the car to start the engine, and that was 20 or 30 years ago. But now cars all have self-driving features as well as sensors to detect potential collisions, and even cameras, and everything's integrated in cars now, so they need memory. And fridges and microwaves are also following this route as well, right? You can program your microwave to heat up some food at a certain time with your smartphone, so that all requires memory, and this is what Western Digital makes. And also there's a huge data center growth right now, as we're seeing due to the pandemic. More and more people are using these web servers. So with the increase in web servers, we need more data centers. And more importantly, with the growth of the pandemic, more people are using computers, and we need faster computers now. And every year, the entire internet in general, all the web pages get larger and larger. So we need to constantly update your computer over time. So every 5 years or so, you probably need a new computer, and for a new computer, you will need a even bigger hard drive than the previous one. So in terms of growth, I would say that it has a very good growth. So the overall buy rating for Washington Digital, I would say, is 8.5 out of 10. So I think Washington Digital is a great opportunity. Thank you for watching, and remember to invest safely.